Hello, it's Morgan with the Wyalusing Library again, and today we're going to talk about how to read your ebook in Libby or how to listen to your audiobook. I'm on the shelf page right now. If you don't know how to get there, the menu that shows up on most pages here at the bottom, it says Library or Shelf. If you choose Shelf, it'll get you to this page, which has a Loans shelf, a Holds shelf, and tags. We'll talk about holds and tags another time, but for now what we're interested in are the books that we've already got checked out. And if you didn't already realize this, you have a limit of 5 books that you can check out at one time, but as soon as you return one, then you have a slot opened up, you can get a new one. So in the Reading Now section is the book I had open last, and I can reopen that book either by clicking on Open in Libby or clicking on the book cover, or if you'll notice, that circle at the bottom of the page has that same book cover in it. So whatever I was reading last is what's going to show up in that circle at the bottom of the page, which I can navigate directly to the book by clicking on that circle. Now, when I first get here, you can see I've got some menus that are blocking part of the text. So that is not how I'm normally going to read the book, but you need to know about these menus so that you can get back to your shelf or back to the library when you are done reading for the moment, or if you need to do something and interrupt reading the book. So in order to go back and forth between the book and these menus, you just touch the center of the screen, and that will take the menus away. If you need to get them back again, touch the center of the screen, and they will come back. And then from here, you can navigate back to the library, and you'll notice still has that book that I just closed in that center circle, so I can go directly back there by clicking the circle. So you can get back and forth from your book to the other parts of Libby from this menu. And then below that, there's a progress bar as well as some information about where you are in the book. So right now it says I'm on chapter 1 and I'm on page 23 and 24 of 544. If I want to, I can click on that page number thing and it will give me some other descriptions of where I am in the book. So there's 25 pages left in the chapter. I'm at 4% of the book. Or if I click that again, it will take me right back to that first thing that shows me which pages I'm on. So that can be useful. Also, in the upper right corner, there is a menu icon. It's 3 lines stacked on top of each other. If you click on that, it will open another menu on the side. And if you are reading a book for the first time, like this is the first time you've opened a book in Libby, you might want to go to Reading Settings and get it set up the way that you like it. You can change the size of the text to be almost whatever you want. So it's got some sort of standard sizing in this scale. You just move the black bar up or down the scale, and it will show you in the little sample window there at the top. There's also this toggle, and that will increase the number of options you have for larger size text by including accessibility sizes. You can change the lighting scheme. You can go to sepia and have a less bright screen. You can choose dark if you prefer, or bright, which is kind of the default. And then farther down, you can see some options for the actual font that the book is in. So publisher's default is optimized for readability. It is the font that the ebook publisher has chosen. But if you want to, you can choose one of the other fonts below there. Particularly useful is the option for Open Dyslexic if that is something that helps you be able to read better. That is a choice there. And once you've done those settings, you click on Done. It will get rid of that sidebar menu. And then the other things in that sidebar menu are the chapter listing, which will let you jump to a particular chapter. The bookmarks would list any bookmarks that you have set. So it tells you when you set it. So today I set a bookmark on page 23 of chapter 1. And so those can be useful things to get to if you use bookmarks or if you need to find a particular chapter. And I can just click on the screen again to get rid of the side menu. And then the other three things that are up there in the top upper right corner, there's a circular icon with some lines in it that lets me change between one column of text or two. There's a search icon, which would let me search for a particular word within the book. It would find all the instances of that word. Probably more useful for nonfiction books if you're doing research or something like that. And then there's a little bookmark icon, which right now is black because I have a bookmark on this page. If we click back so that we're on the page itself, if I undo that bookmark by touching the upper right corner of the screen, that bookmark is white. So when it has been set for that page, it's black. If I click on it again, it's white. That means there's no bookmark on that page. But that is one place that you can set bookmarks. And like I just said, you can also set a bookmark or take one off by clicking on the upper right corner while you're in the reader view. In order to turn the page, you're just going to touch the right-hand side of the screen to move forward and the left-hand side of the screen to move back. So right hand forward, left hand back. So that will let you go forward and back in the book. And that should get you started on reading your ebook. So let's go back. I need that menu up so that I can navigate back to my shelf. And let's take a look at an audiobook instead. So I click on the book cover on my loans shelf, and that's opening up this audiobook. And the menu is similar to the ebook. There's a progress bar at the bottom. You still have your library and shelf options there so that you can navigate back to those parts of Libby. And in the middle there is a big play button. So if you're ready to listen, you just hit that play button and start. Similar to the ebook, you can change how it's describing where you are in the book by clicking on the thing that says, right now it says -14, :21, :15 left. So that's telling me how much time is left in the book. If I click that, it'll tell me how much time I've actually listened to, or what's left in the chapter, or what percentage of the book I have listened to. So just, again, different ways to describe where you are in the book. You can move forward and backward in the book by actually moving that progress bar at the bottom. So if you need to jump back because you got distracted and missed something, you can move it back in time. You can also do that on the sort of main screen. So I don't necessarily need to see anything different than this to listen to the book. When I hit the play button, it's just going to play. But if I hit the center of the screen, it changes to this sort of shorthand version, and it gives you some really clear back and forward buttons that let you go back 15 seconds or forward 15 seconds. So if you prefer to have these nice simple icons to click, that's an option. If I click the center of the screen again, it will pull those menus back up just like with the ebook. Now up in the upper right area of the screen, again, there are some icons that let you do some things. There's also a bookmark. You can bookmark the page. In this case, when it's filled in, it has a bookmark. If it's not filled in, that means there's no bookmark there. To the left of that, there is a little moon icon. If I click that, it will set a 30-minute sleep timer. So if you like to listen to books as you're falling asleep, this will turn the book off after it plays for 30 minutes so that you don't miss too much. Hopefully you're asleep and it turns off after you've already fallen asleep and you're ready to get up and listen to it another time. You'll have to actually back up to get to where you remember leaving off. But this way the book doesn't just keep playing all night and make you miss the whole thing. So I'm toggling that back off again by touching it again. And then to the left of the moon, there's something that looks a little bit like a timer. And if I touch that, it changes the playback speed. So if you like to listen to your books faster than the standard speed, you can toggle through several settings here up to 2 times normal speed. In order to get it back to regular speed, just click it one more time and it'll go back to 1. So those are the things that you might want to get to on the menu screen. The sidebar menu lets you, again, jump chapters or see what bookmarks you've set. But basically, you can just start playing your book, and then if you want to go forward or back, you can either do that from this navigating screen with the 15-second, or you can actually swipe and it will go back. If you swipe left to right, it will go back in time. Depending on how long you swiped is how long it goes back. Touch the center of the screen again to get back here, and shelf will take me back to my shelf. And you'll notice that because I switched books, the cover that is in that circle there at the bottom of the page is the book that I opened last. So that is the audiobook. That's the last thing I had opened. All right, hopefully that gets you started, and I hope you enjoy your books.